Hello, welcome back to Cruise1st TV, the only choice you need when it comes to the biggest names in the world of cruise holidays. And always be assured, the best deals in the business.
Absolutely, yes. This show is jam-packed full of ideas for sunshine getaways for next year with P&O Cruises. Now, no matter how many people I've talked to over the years, people always love telling me about their P&O Cruises adventures. And often, people get the cruising bug by taking one of their exciting cruises.
And they know just what us Brits want when it comes to food, entertainment and places to visit. So in this show, we've got low deposits all the way to get some adventures booked for next year. If you fancy the Med, the Canaries or the Caribbean, this show will hit the spot for sure. Now let's start with the Canaries for a 14-night cruising adventure starting on the 18th of March next year right here in Southampton. We'll be on board the P&O Cruises Iona. Fantastic. And of course, cruising straight out of Southampton is always just so easy and breezy wherever you are in the UK, just to cruise on down to the port. Also means you can bring as much luggage as you like.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And you could bring back more than you went with, which is even better.
Yeah, for sure. Now, Iona was launched in just 2021, so she's a very new vessel, and you can see this lovely, fresh, bright vibe throughout the ship from some of these incredible images. Delicious food all round. Look, whether you're wanting a touch of incredible comfort food and a nice hearty Sunday roast, or fresher, lighter fare, of course, when you're out there in a beautiful sun-drenched shores of the Canary Islands, you might just want fresh salads and whatnot. They've got everything for you, of course. They've thought of everything when it comes to cuisine. I mean, look at that meze platter. That looks incredible, doesn't it? The Fusion Asian kitchen as well. Delicious Fusion Asian fare. Something for everybody. Oh.
Even a fish and chip shop.
Yes.
There you go. And that's what you want, isn't it? And that was perfect timing, actually, because that really is quintessentially what P&O Cruises are about, because they are our cruise line. You know, and Iona feels like she's our cruise ship as well as Brits. We cling on to her as much as we possibly can, and we're very fond of not just Iona, but the other P&O ships that sail out of the UK as well. There's a very homely feel on board. I think sometimes when people are taking their first couple or few cruises, they want still that element of familiarity around. Yes, of course, you want that lovely, luxury hotel feel in terms of your cabin, your stateroom, your bedroom, essentially, with its bathroom, of course, en suite. You want that lovely, comfortable feeling, but then you want familiarity. You want things like afternoon tea, because it's something you do if you're off to Cornwall for a week, wouldn't it? You do an afternoon tea one time or another. I don't know about you, but if you ever go on holiday in the UK and you go away for a week and you're anywhere near the sea, one night you'll have fish and chips, won't you? Yeah,
you will. And there's, of course, all of these things have been thoughtfully prepared for you by award-winning chefs such as Marco Pierre White, who has curated menus and wine pairings. I mean, that's a really exciting aspect. There's also the chef's table, which is for gala celebration nights. And also, alongside the curation by Marco Pierre White, you've got French master pâtissier Eric Lenlard, who's also created beautiful dessert menu for you. So exciting things on offer. Thrilling stage shows, as you'd imagine at sea. Well, maybe, like you said, Derek, if you've never cruised before, be prepared for the best of the West End and Broadway combined with a touch of Vegas when it comes to their all singing, all dancing entertainment. And some nights it might be a guest magician, a guest singer, all kinds of different things will be on offer for you when you're cruising the Seven Seas with P&O Cruises. So we're cruising out of Southampton. The first port is fabulous Funchal in Madeira, an island that is equidistant from Lisbon and the African coast. And the unique geographical position here has meant it's been a pivotal port in Europe, and there's so much to see and do. We have Gran Canaria next, which is lovely. This archipelago was sculpted by intense volcanic activities. You've got loads of geothermal activity on the island. There's the Maspalomas dunes to visit too, which are incredible. Tenerife is next on your itinerary. And some tours here I'd recommend include the panoramic Las Canadas National Park and the National Geographic Day tour, where you can see the history of wine in the Canary Islands, because of course these islands are known for incredible wine. Then it's Fuerteventura, which is a lovely place to visit just to maybe even relax on the beach. Of course, we are heading to this part of the world to enjoy the sun-drenched shores. But, if you are an active adventurer, there's things to do in the national park as well. Then it's Lanzarote, which has over 300 dormant volcanoes. You can see the Timofeya National Park and take a camel ride up there. They're famous for this tour through the sort of volcano. Cadiz is on the cards next, and that is a beautiful stopping off point for incredible Seville and the Alcazar and the orange tree lined streets, maybe taking a horse and cart tour, drink in this amazing Spanish city. Then we're on to La Coruña in Spain, for Galicia, the rich green north, the incredible Tower of Hercules, San Pedro Hill, and the beautiful Estrella Galicia Museum, known as Mega, is also worth seeing while you're up there, not far from Santiago de Compostela as well. Then we're back into Southampton after our little adventure taking us through Europe and, of course, particularly the Canary Islands, those sun-drenched shores. I think this will be a lovely trip.
Oh yeah, perfect. And I'm just going to say to you, I mean, listen, I know our weather changes, not just year by year, not just month by month. You know, we never, it's like pick and mix, isn't it? It's like spin a wheel. What's going to happen today? We never know. But if I just take you back to March this year, what was the weather like? I mean, we were ringing out everything, weren't we? Day after day after day, because you just have rain after rain after rain. And the poor weather forecasters, like every single day, it's like they may as well have just put it on a loop, because it was just the same things happening, wasn't it? Day after day after day. Here comes another wet front off the Atlantic, and here comes another one, and here comes another one. Not even time to get the washing out, is there? So, for March next year, 2 weeks of very, very different experience, hopefully. I mean, I can't guarantee it won't be raining in Southampton when you get on the cruise, but of course we're cruising down to the Canaries, where one, it's generally much drier, and two, it's generally much sunnier, because it's generally sunnier year round down in the Canaries. You're all cruising with P&O Cruises, so it's nice familiarity there on the Iona. You're full board, of course, there's so much included. There's no tipping either. That's included in your fare, which is brilliant, down to the Canaries, dipping into Spain as well. Low deposit today, so if you're liking the idea for kind of, you know, pretty much this time next year, a little less, deposit today starts from just £129 per person. I know, right? Because this is what, 14 nights, and every one of those nights is a cruise night. That's good, isn't it? Especially when you look at that price tag. Now that's one that you want to lock in right now, today, for next March. Actually, do you know what? You look there, you could spend more than that renting a holiday cottage for a week, couldn't you? Very, very easily, even at that time of the year. And then of course you've got to buy all your own food, you've got to pay for all the things that entertain you and amuse you through that holiday. So that's easily going to cost you more. And actually, if you think about it, the only travel that you've got here is getting yourself down to Southampton and back home at the end. The rest of it, just let P&O take this train. They'll just take care of absolutely everything for you. So that's a real holiday, right? And you're going to lots and lots of different places, not just, you know, the ins and outs of one county here in the UK. Brilliant, brilliant. Here's the details if you want to upgrade. And if you want to add the classic drinks package, do it when you book and we'll take 10% off the price there for you, which is very, very good. You're absolutely very welcome. We're more than happy to do that for you, but make sure you do it while you're booking your cruise. Now there's various dates for this cruise and they run through this year, through next year, and in 2026. Now they're all available with a low deposit, which is really, really good news. So if you want to do this at some other stage, then you absolutely can, which is really, really nice. So you could choose a date later in this year, you could choose one for next year, completely and utterly up to you. But give us a call when you're ready to book, 0800 953 4700, because that is a ridiculous price tag. I mean, that's a ridiculous price tag for a 14-night cruise with anyone. And we are by no means talking about, you know, a budget kind of option. This isn't the difference between swapping your main supermarket for one of the budget discounters. Absolutely not. You've got amazing service and amazing calibre of accommodation while you're on board with P&O Cruises. Right, okay, it's time to see some of you now. Thank you for sending all your lovely pictures. We'll try and get as many featured in the show as we possibly can. Welcome to the stage, Eddie Mahoney from Brackley near Silverstone, and this is him and his family on board Iona last Christmas actually, and it's entertainment host Sarah in the middle. They had a top celebration night, which is a lovely feature of P&O Cruises. They've had 4 cruises with P&O booked for this year, and they've just got back from 2 weeks on Azura from Valletta in Malta, which sounds very, very nice indeed. Brilliant photo as well. Thank you very much, Eddie. Listen, if you want to drop us a photo of your cruise, make sure you tell us which cruise ship you're on, by the way, because sometimes it's difficult to work out from pictures. Let us know. studio@cruise1st.tv, and we'll try and get as many as we can weaved into the shows on the telly for you as well. So you can be famous. So we love to hear from you. studio@cruise1st.tv. Right, next I think we're doing the Med, aren't we, Jo?
We are. We're going to cruise the Med with P&O Cruises on the beautiful Arvia, and it's going to be the 25th of May next year for 14 nights, sailing to and from Southampton. And as you mentioned, Derek, the weather has been pretty unpredictable.
Oh,
so even into May, we just don't know. We do not know if we're going to have sunshine. I think it's actually a really great time to have a cruise booked in, because you know the weather's going to be heating up in Europe, most likely.
I know we love talking about the weather, but honestly, quite frankly, this year so far, I'm sick of just saying the same thing every day.
Oh
about
my
the
gosh,
weather.
I know.
Just you can't predict what's going on at all. So, and listen, remember when you're on one of these cruise ships, even if it happens to be, you know, which is going to happen from time to time, when you're doing a no flight out of Southampton, it might be the greyest day on God's green earth, the day you sail out of Southampton, but you are always sailing towards something
You are sailing
drier
towards,
and sunnier.
Yeah, brighter, sunnier, exciting.
Brighter days are ahead.
Environments. And this beautiful vessel, she was only launched in 2022 and part of the brand new Excel class.
Beautiful.
So, I mean, you have got incredibly dynamic features, including the Sky Dome, which is a retractable glass room. You've got bars, a pool, plenty of lounges for relaxing and soaking up the sunshine, but it's also a dynamic entertainment space at the same time.
It's a great idea, actually.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Because it's like an amphitheatre by day, but with the pool in the middle, so they can open up the roof, and then of an evening, it completely transforms into this performance space. Brilliant. I mean, what a good idea. I mean, it's like having two uses that are completely different for the same space.
Yeah, I love that.
Amazing.
First rum distillery at sea as well, so you can learn about the distillery process and make your own.
Nice.
I love all these interactive, you know, different activities you can sign up for whilst you're on board. There's things like a behind-the-scenes tour that you could do. There's a Q&A with the captain. You know, all these things that allow you to learn about the actual workings of the ship and enjoy, you know, learning about the actual life of the crew members too, which I know intrigues a lot of people, because when I worked on board, I would get so many questions from passengers. You know, what goes on behind the scenes? Tell us all the secrets. Like? Exactly.
Yeah.
But you can learn about that, and actually, you can learn how to cook with the executive chef as well, or learn a new dish, shall I say?
It gives you a huge respect, actually, for what goes on front of house, so to speak. When you see what goes on behind the scenes, you're like, oh my word, this is amazing.
It's like running a small city.
And we would never know all of this stuff was going on.
Yeah.
We're just there enjoying our holiday.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can appreciate it a lot
They're
better.
amazing.
Yeah.
They're absolutely amazing. And you're just going to just drink in the moments and just appreciate how incredible being on a cruise is. Maybe it's your first cruise, or maybe you're back for one of many more on P&O Cruises, Britain's most beloved cruise ship brand. But we are going to be sailing off into the Med, and our first port out of Southampton is going to be the fabulous north of Spain, Galicia, La Coruña. La Coruña is known for its lush green surroundings. You have Santiago de Compostela, which is not too far away. You can visit that famed pilgrim city and the cathedral and the Tower of Hercules, Roman tower there. Then it's Malaga, gateway to the Alhambra in Granada, or Torremolinos for the beach. But in downtown in Malaga, they've actually got Picasso Museum. They've got lots of lovely little boutiques. The cobblestone streets are adorable. You will love it. Alicante is next, and this is quite sleepy by comparison to the others. Nice and relaxing place to visit. You've also got Valencia, not too far away, that you can also hop on a tour to. Now speak to your shore excursions team on P&O Cruises, who'll talk you through that. Toulon is next, where you can visit the famed art museum. Beautiful, you know, areas afoot from here. Of course, you have the wine regions as well. And again, speak to the team, because they'll find the perfect tour for you, no matter what you want to do. Barcelona is next, okay, if you haven't been to this incredible Catalonian capital. It is captivating for architecture, for art, for the beach. La Ramblas, where you can see these incredible street performers. So much going on in Barcelona. Then it's Cadiz, which is down in the south of Spain. We are looking here at very close proximity to Seville, of course, but at the same time, I actually really like Cadiz for shopping. They have an El Corte Inglés there, the beach, so an easy breezy day for you if you choose to spend it there. Then we're back into Southampton. You've not set foot on a plane. You've cruised all the way to fabulous Europe. And you just get to, walk off the ship. Maybe you've done a little bit of shopping in those ports as well, and it just makes it so easy because no flying is involved. Brilliant.
It's fantastic to do the Med like this. It really is just so good. And these are lovely places that you're going to as well. When are we going? We're going in May, but there are, as you can see, there are other dates available this year and next year. But this is a really lovely 2 weeks away. Can I just say, and this is something that probably should have occurred to me years ago, but if you've been on one of these P&O cruises around the Med, I just think it makes it really simple and easy to be able to recommend it to someone else. So if you had a great time, regardless of what the ship was, if it was P&O Cruises, you know that level and that standard is throughout their fleet, which is amazing. A couple of their ships are adult only, some are a little bit bigger, some are a little bit newer. But you know what? You know that you can trust the service, the level of entertainment. So talk to people that you know, members of the family, friends that you hang around with, those people that are maybe doing stayed and safe holidays here in the UK that would really appreciate a holiday like this. Do spread the word, send them our way by all means. Remember, if they haven't got Sky, we're on YouTube and we've got that feed of the channel running 24 hours a day on YouTube, so you can even watch it in the middle of the night if you want to. But this is going to be an amazing offer, and let me tell you why I want you also to recommend this to other people. I want you to book your places first to make sure you get the price, but then I want you to spread the word as well, because for the price I'm about to give you, it's 2 weeks of cruising on one of the newest P&O ships, which is brilliant, around the Spanish Med, to and from Southampton, really easy, full board, no tips to pay, and a low deposit today. So your deposits on this one start from just £139 each today. Bear in mind, this is a 14-night cruise. I just had to glance to check the number of nights, because when you see the price, again, I mean, listen, there are other channels that talk to you about buying things, and I'm just thinking, I was there way back when. For that kind of price, for that kind of deal, I should be shouting, screaming, and almost jumping through this camera to shake you and say, get it booked right now. Can you see the price? It's so darn good. We do everything at a calm pace here. So calmly, get yourself to the phone as quickly as you can and get that booked. Get your deposit down today of just £139 each and do it right now. Actually, on this one, we've got an extra offer as well, because if you book a sea view cabin, so an ocean view, we'll upgrade you to a balcony for the ocean view price. So let's go check out that price then, shall we? For a 14-night cruise. I'm on the edge of my seat, getting closer to the screen. That's brilliant. That's for a 14-night cruise, remember? So you upgrade to an ocean view, we'll upgrade you to a balcony for free. And you know you want a balcony. Everyone wants a balcony. I mean, listen, some people, it depends on how you do your holidays. You might say, no, you know what? I'm going to go for the best price and I'm going to treat myself to more of the speciality dining, or enjoy a few glasses of champagne while I'm on board, or spend more money that way. It's completely up to you. Talking of drinks, by the way, one at a time responsibly. If you book your drinks package, your classic drinks package, when you book, so while you're on the phone to our team booking, we'll take 10% off the drinks price for you, which is really good. And there are other dates for this itinerary from now through to October this year, and also March to October next year. Now, the one thing I will say is that price doesn't apply to all of those dates. The price varies by date. So if you want to grab this great deal, this is like the needle in the haystack, get it now. If you want one of the other dates, of course, the price will vary. But talk to our team right now on 0800 953 4700, and we will find the best deal on the best date for you. And whichever itinerary you're going for as well, by the way, book your drinks while you're booking it on the phone with us, and we'll take 10% off the price of the drinks. The drinks are already a great price, but listen, 10% saving, I'm not going to be complaining at that, are you?
I mean,
absolutely
that
not.
works out about £60 a night or something, Derek. It's
crazy.
Crazy.
Bonkers, isn't it?
Well, we need a big bell or something, you know, if we can't scream from the rooftops about these prices.
We've got a new studio here, which you don't know anything about because it looks essentially the same.
Exactly.
But we're in a new studio, or a much bigger enhanced studio. We've got a proper lighting grid up there. We could hang a big brass bell from that, Mr. P, and we could have a bit of a... We have got a bell somewhere, but we need one that comes down from the ceiling, like the dove from above. Mr. P can make it happen. Anyway, in the meantime, you bank that, make a note of it. In the meantime, let's go on a transatlantic adventure on Britannia. Now, we're going to go and meet her in the Caribbean and sail her back to Southampton. Now, this is 13 nights, and this is for March next year as well. Sorry, so many choices. 22nd of March next year, we're going to fly out first to Bridgetown in Barbados, and waiting at the port, here she is, Britannia, who rules the waves.
She certainly does, and that's why she is for sure one of the firm favourites in the fleet. So many repeat cruisers come back to Britannia season after season for the friendly staff, the warm environment, the dynamic spaces, that home from home feel, which includes, by the way, your prong plugs in your stateroom, your
and
Marmite,
spending in pounds while you're on board.
Spending in pounds, your Marmite, your PG tips. That's just brilliant. I mean, there's these little home comforts though that you're like, oh gosh, I wish I'd have brought my tea bags with me. And then they're on board.
The other thing as well I noticed is that you can look in advance and see what the entertainment programme, you know, is going to be for your cruise, and you should see the calibre of the people who perform on these ships as well.
Yes.
Like, it's names you know. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, it's tonight, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jane from Rugby. You know, it's like, do you know what I mean? It's not that kind of thing. Actually, they have quite a few kind of, you know, names that go on these cruises and entertain. I hadn't quite sort of fathomed and realised that. I know they have big celebrity associations.
People that you probably remember from way back when as well, that now do a lot of visits to cruise ships, and that's exciting actually. So you can brag about it when you got home.
That'll be me in 20 years.
But they have great shows, and they wouldn't be on board if they didn't have great shows, because the standard is very high. P&O Cruises are not going to choose anyone but the best for entertainment in their theatres and venues.
And also, can I just say to you, it's you know, sometimes when you're looking at a slightly larger ship, you're probably thinking, okay, well, that's going to be crowded full of people and it's just going to be a non-stop party. P&O, they do have a party on offer, and they do have great entertainment, you know, other than the shows of an evening, but it's not kind of that, you know, music everywhere, loud kind of, you know, that it can be sometimes on some ships. It is a little bit more sedate. There are plenty of places to go and escape to. So if you like, if for you a cruise is more about the cruising experience and the destinations, then P&O will be great for you. Listen, that does not mean that if you want to be up raving and misbehaving until 3 or 4 in the morning, that it can't happen. It can.
Can I say as well, we're coming from the Caribbean, there's going to be they'll have the steel drum players probably on there, the Caribbean night. You'll have all these fun, different themed events happening on deck, barbecue on deck and things like that too. So if you like to kind of be immersed in the surroundings, this is going to be perfect for you. Cruising out of Bridgetown into Castray's beautiful St. Lucia, where you can zip line, hike and ride, and they actually do a tour that allows you to experience all three. Point Seraphine, where the ship is docked, has some fantastic shopping as well and easy to walk into town. Then it's Basseterre in gorgeous St. Kitts for St. Kitts and Nevis. You have the Nevis Bath Springs, as they're known for their geothermal springs, this island. They have an amazing railway. You can take a tour to the railway whilst you're there. And they're known for their monkeys, more monkeys than people per capita. Then it's St. John's in Antigua, which is one of my most favourites. It's absolutely gorgeous. Dickinson's Bay is stunning, one of the best beaches in the world, they say. Also, right there at the port, you've got fabulous craft markets in Redcliffe Quay, Casino right at the end. Then it's Ponta Delgada in the Azores after a couple of sea days across the pond. This is an amazing geothermal volcanic landscape off the coast of Portugal. You've actually got the National Gardens to visit there and so much more. Then we're back into Southampton and you're just walking off the ship. And the great thing is you can have shopped until you dropped in the Caribbean, because it's tax and duty free, of course, and enjoyed the shopping. And then you are just walking off with your suitcase, no flying involved. I love that.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so the flight, obviously at the beginning, out to Barbados, straight out to the heart of the action in the sunshine. That's what you want, really, isn't it? If you're going to do any kind of, travelling, let's get it all out of the way right at the beginning. So you fly to Barbados, and that's it. The rest of it, you can just sit back, relax, lie back and think of a wonderful cruise. It's as simple as that. It's an amazing adventure, this one. And this is what we call a repositioning cruise as well, where a cruise is coming from one part of the world to the other. So in this instance, we're coming from the Caribbean back to the UK, which is brilliant. So you get more cruise days. You get quite a few sea days as you go across the pond is brilliant, which means you're not missing out on a port. You get to relax, you get to do all the activities and things that maybe on a port intensive cruise you wouldn't get a chance to. So book your Caribbean adventure right now for next March with P&O Cruises. The flight to Barbados, 13 nights of cruising, the Caribbean, and then across the pond via the Azores back to Southampton. Low deposit today from £169 per person, and that means that your final price on this one is did I say final price then? Did I? I think I'm back on the other channels again. £1,079 per person. That's really, really good. That's your flight out to Barbados and your 13-night cruise around the Caribbean, across the pond, and then back to the UK. Now, on this one, we've got a bit of an offer as well, because if you fly at the start of this holiday out to Barbados from Manchester or Birmingham, you can do that for just a small supplement of £49 per person more, which is really good. So that price based on London flights, Manchester, Birmingham, an extra £49 each, which is brilliant considering you're flying all the way out to the Caribbean and Barbados. And if you want to add your classic drinks package, do it while you book and we'll save you 10% on that. Other dates for the offer, October this year, next year, and March in 2026 as well. Obviously price varies by dates. Here's the updates, the upgrade should I say, in terms of on board. I'm getting it all wrong now, aren't I? Final price. It's because I'm sat next to you. We both used to work on the same channel where you talk about final price all the time. But I've been 7 years free. 7 years free, lucky me.
This doesn't sound like a final price, Derek. That's the
It's
thing.
ridiculous, isn't it? And it should be so much more. You're thinking there's some hidden extras in there somewhere, and there really isn't. From £1,079 per person. It's really, really good. Now, listen, before we end this show, and give us a call if you are ready to book that one right now on 0800 953 4700. I mean, that's lovely because that's a nice taste of the Caribbean and a good, a good chunk of cruising time as well. Very, very good offer indeed. So if you want it at £1,079, remember the other dates that we've got for the offer, they will vary in price. So, we always look for that one that you just go, I can't believe I'm doing all of that for that price per person. It's really, really good. Now, before we run out of time in this show, shall we have a little gander at some quick picks now for even more opportunities next year with low deposits and great prices with P&O Cruises? Let's have a little look what we can serve up for you this time. Let's start with PO292 then, which is a week on Iona to and from Southampton up to the Norwegian fjords. Again, look at that, 689 per person, which is really, really good. Next one then, the one in the middle, is a bit of a try me mini cruise actually on Ventura for 4 nights. PO293 is the reference, 16th of April next year, heading over for an overnight in Amsterdam. The last one there, PO294, is a week of cruising on P&O's Cruises Aurora to Spain, France and Portugal. I would imagine because it's so far away, you'll be able to deposit that as well. So you'll put a lower deposit right now, then ring round, get everybody sorted. It's much, much easier, isn't it? Just to say to everyone, we'll meet you down at Southampton, be there on such a date, we're cruising away for 4 nights, we're going off to Amsterdam, we've got an overnight there, all sorted. Could be a hen party, could be an anniversary,
family
could be
reunion,
get together, for any reason.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really wonderful food for thought there. Those prices, I mean, you just got to equate to what you'd spend even in a weekend in certain times of the year, and you see the value is already covered. And superb, but you've got to book them soon because these sell up very, very fast.
Yeah, they do. They do. So I get on them pretty quickly. Remember, we're on telly. There's a lot of people watching this. We'll be back with more very soon.
See you soon.